Welcome to Baseline. I am your host today, Zavi. Baseline is podcast, documentary series that we kind of explore the history and the future of hip hop in the Caribbean island of SinCERE and Nevis. This is presented to you by Pelican Media Group, and today we are shot and are being hosted in the Create One Media Studios. Today with me, I have two folks who are going to be that present and future of hip hop for Ireland. One who I've had an interview with already. Today we have Zoo and SinCERE with us for our baseline conversation. How y'all fellas feeling?
Feeling good, man. Feeling great. Happy to be here as usual.
Level smooth.
Smooth? Alright. So kind of to kick it off to the uninformed, soon to be informed, tell them a little bit about yourselves, what y'all are doing, what you did, and how you feeling about things today.
Well, first of all, people might know me as Tazo, Ganges, Gang Bang, whatever you want to call me. But no, I go as Zoo. That's my artist name. That's the name of my career as well. I do hip hop. Slick hip hop, R&B. I just bring a different flavor to the culture in St. Kitts, what I mean? Out of the regular stuff that you normally hear, more introspect, what I mean? So that's me.
Okay.
Well, yeah, my name, I go by the name SinCERE. That's my artist name, really. But people know me as Zidan Dre. Zidan is my first name, actual real name. Dre is my middle name, but SinCERE is my artist name, so just SinCERE.
Gotcha. So for those who don't know, this is a follow-up interview. We actually did, that would have been like one of your first interviews specifically about music. We did that like January 2017, a few weeks after you dropped your debut EP, Hear Me Out. And that was a whole different setup. That was just us in an apartment. It was me, you, 87 Beats, Mac, Adi, Michi. It was just a bunch of us just there.
Floating around.
And it turns out that was like the interview. That's one of them interviews that I hold close to my heart, because that's one of the first times I actually sit down for a long period of time just talking about the craft, and you know what I mean? So that was really dope for me, man. Hey, that was good for me too. I was new to like doing interviews and kind of like moderating panels, so that was good exposure. But I think what we could get into now is kind of following up on a question I asked then is, for both of y'all, tell me why. Like, you grew up in St. Kitts. This is string bang, soca, reggae, dancehall. Why y'all wanted to be rappers, and like, who might have been the influences to do that?
Well, for me, like, that's something I always love to do, man. Like, hip hop is just, I think that's just me. You know what I mean? Like, I won't say I just get up and decide to do it. That's something that always been inside of me. And, of course, I thought about it like, damn, like, what you doing in this? Really, bro? Like, think about this. Like, before you put this music out, think about this for real. Like, you in St. Kitts. This is Nevis, man. This is, you know what I mean? This is like, Infamous and them guys. Like, this is on a whole different level. Where will you find your Mac in this place? And I'm like, yo, listen, somebody out there gonna love my energy. You know what I mean? And this is who I be. This is what I represent. And, I can just do me.
True.
Yeah.
I know you sound like you, at that time, like local influences you had, Queen Yannick. What is it? The Underground.
The Underground, yeah. Queen Yannick was a huge influence on me. 87 as well, because he used to spit bars, and I know that looking at these guys, like, I don't know. Like, wait till y'all hear me. Like, you know what I mean? Wait till I bust the place, then you're gonna see what's going on. I just used to soak up game, see how them I move. I always been in the background, just soaking up and just keeping my energy low. Nobody even know how I come in, and you know what I'm saying. So that was just my whole vibe, man. But them guys inspire me, and yeah, here today.
Okay then. What about you, SinCERE? Why return to spitters?
Well, for me, hip hop just felt like home.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt like home. Like when I listening to it, I could identify with the stories in there. They was talking about how they was talking about it and the perspective. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I just like hearing stuff from a real perspective, not watered down. So there's a really drama to it. It's the real, authentic storytelling. It just brings you into a different way, a different world, really, you know what I mean? And yeah.
So who, local or international at the time you...
Well, I actually started doing music and putting out music 2017, not like to follow up on anything. My first track was released in 2017 and what I was listening locally at the time was this guy over here. Yeah, he was always listening locally at the time and amongst other local artists, but in terms of hip hop, this is what I was listening to local and abroad, like international, you know. Nevis, the J. Cole's, the Nipsey's, whoever else you want to call it, Styles P, Jada Kisses, all those down the line, you know.
Okay then. So what could work well for us here on Baseline is like we could use this as a time to talk about like your journey since then. So at that time you had just released Hear Me Out. You was getting ready to kind of like start going to different places, you know, hitting Freedom FM and moving around, moving and shaking basically with that project. So let's talk about that inflection point. You are making an album that basically you was working on for what, maybe about 2 years, a year you said you was working on?
Hear Me Out?
Yeah.
Nah, Hear Me Out was actually, Hear Me Out was like bits and pieces of when I started writing. Started writing in 2011. You know what I mean? And I took my time and I just knew that the first time stepping out, I wanted to set a mark. I don't want to come out and people say, it's just another rapper, like one of the other rappers coming out. I want when I come out, people say, yo, this look different. And I could tell like, is, you know what I mean, a whole different energy he gonna bring. He gonna be here for a while. That was my statement. So I was working on Hear Me Out for like 3, maybe 4 years and all. I wrote so much music, but I only put out 7 at the time because like, it was perfect 7.
That was
you know what I mean?
The ones they wanted people to hear.
Yeah, that I wanted them to hear. And there's so much I ain't even put out from that segment still. You know what I mean? So I could probably bring that today, which would be dope. You know what I mean? But yeah, I've been working on it for a while. And as I said, I just wanted to make a statement that when I put that music out, that people know that they can hear. Like, for real. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So, Hear Me Out, that's, you know, your story. You telling your story. You want people to understand where you're talking about, where you come from, your perspective on things.
That's my introduction. Like, that Hear Me Out, when you listen to Hear Me Out, you know, okay, this guy, he coming on some real shit. Like, he ain't coming talking no bullshit. Like, this is him. No, you know what I mean?
So then, after that, we go into Fragments of Love. What was the story there? And this is where me and you, we in this interview, we can start talking about our personal conversations. When you kind of came to me with the idea of that album, we started talking about, okay, you've shown this flow, you've shown this perspective.
Yeah.
What about this next album gonna make me know that you're doing more? And I remember that conversation when you said, Xavier working on new flows, you know. Yeah. So what kind of spurred that change for that album?
For me, okay, well, remember before Fragments of Love, I did Formula 18 with Rudy.
With Rudy, yeah.
Yeah, I did Formula 18 with Rudy. Now, after coming off of Hear Me Out, I did Formula 18 with Rudy because it was a breath of fresh air as well. And it's like, okay, I haven't worked with anybody because I normally just do my own thing. So linking with Rudy now was a whole different experience, and it was really great for me, you know, working with somebody else as talented as him. You know what I'm saying? Because we spent a lot of late nights in the studio together. So I learned so much. But I say that to say now, coming out to Fragments of Love is like, I just knew like I wanted different now. Like people knew, okay, yo, you got bars, you can spit bars. But now it's like, I really want to make another statement. So I make a statement with Hear Me Out. Is it Fragments of Love now? And like people are like, yo, I'm an artist.
You know what I'm saying? So don't just look at me as somebody who got bars or that. Like, I don't want to go down as some bad spitter. I want when people remember me, like they say, yo, this is an artist because he could spit bars, he could give you stuff for the ladies, he could give you that introspect, like, you know what I mean?
You're trying to show them the holistic nature.
Yeah, the holistic side of the artistry. So, yeah, like Fragments of Love was just a turning point for me. Like, I want to dig deeper within myself and pull that out. You know what I'm saying? And that was just what it was.
Good then. So, Holding On. Yeah. That was a song. I remember you sent me like the rough draft early because I think it just what's her name? Chantal? Chantal.
Yeah.
Her audio was still getting worked on, I think, on the version you sent to me. But you sent it to me saying this is a different type of beat.
Yeah.
This is a different type of flow.
Yeah.
Who where feel kind of push you to kind of start being even more creative with your flow? Because that's something that we talked about a lot on. Okay, you got something to say, but say that shit differently sometimes, dog.
Yeah. I feel like I feel like for me, I just needed a I don't know, something inside just knew that I wanted to step away from what I usually was doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And like Holding On, it was like a whole different vibe. Like I wanted, if something was inside of me, I didn't know what it was until I did Holding On.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I just needed to open up someone and be on a whole different type of vibe. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like at the same time too, I just felt like, like I need people to be more receptive of the music as well. Because even though it's hip hop, I could pour a twist to it and bring people closer to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like I did good with that.
So then with that album, we need to talk about the event because that's where we kind of tie the hip hop and the local culture into it.
Yeah.
I ain't see an event here that went off that same way for album or song release since then. We're like, how you get that idea to come together to have the album debut and do it at like a winery, like making the event like this listening session that to this day, I ain't care what no other artists try to do, they can't recreate that event.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, I mean, moments.
You know, much people start drinking wine because of you.
Oh, man. Yo, let me make that clear. Put a lot of y'all on to what they call Cocks and Schools, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That was a really good night. But I would say Mac is actually the one who told me, like, yo, you should have a listening party. You know what I mean? Mac and Michi was kind of reasoning outside of me being there. And like one night we just chilled and told them bring it to me like, yo, like you should got a listening party, man. And then there was a, yo, we should probably just do it by Mac or whatever, get a tent, da. And then at that time we was going to Cocks and Schools just to hang out and stuff. And I was there and I was just like, yo, like why not just have it there? Because the type of vibe it is, you know what I mean? Let's just have it there. People could sit, have some wine. You know, we just started bouncing ideas. Like, we just went crazy with the ideas. Now, like, okay, like, this is how we run this shit. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, yo, listen, females, free. You know what I mean? Wine all night for ladies. Dudes gotta pay. This time, because this album is just all about the ladies. You know what I mean? All about tapping into them and giving them a different side of me as well. So I just really wanted like that night to be perfect, and I couldn't ask for no more, man. Like that was one of them nights I can forever remember. You know what I mean?
Like I said, to this day, even when I hear people start talking about, oh, I got no Cork schools gonna buy this kind of wine, that, I say, oh, you went to the event, you went to a listening party, and now you're sipping wine. That's basically what happening.
Yeah, well, you know, they didn't give me credit.
Credit's so hard to come by. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's what we
it's so easy to give, yet somehow it's so hard to come by.
That's what
so we also gonna talk a little bit with that Fragments of Love. How did it feel like at this time you're checking your DSP charts, you're seeing where the songs being listened and stuff? Like, how was that feeling knowing that it's not just that you put this project out and you know you're getting that SoundCloud data, but like people paying money to hear you all the way in sync? It's like all over the world willing to you know, fuck up that change to understand and connect with you.
Yeah, that was a great feeling. When I went number one, when charted number one, I was like, whoa, like, nah, number one? Like, nah.
You check his Ark and the dancehall songs below you.
Yeah, this gotta be a joke, like, on an album level. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, like, that's when it really give me goosebumps, like, yo, like, because to be honest with you, I be like, I mean, when I was doing fragments, I was like, man, how people gonna take this album here? Like, you know what I mean? It's a whole different type of energy. So the reception I got from it was like mind blowing because I didn't expect it.
Okay then, and I think help you tap into like showing your artistic side. Because I know we even talk about after doing like that listening pattern, like the album going out and people enjoying it, you did like a performance with the Alliance Francaise, I think. They did something like a global initiative streaming thing. Because you did like a live performance and they streamed it out.
Yeah, that was last year.
Yeah,
that was last year. It was a good vibe. It was a really good vibe, and all of that came from the album. From me putting out the album, I met so much people since the album. I got so many opportunities. I can't even like the album is like everything to me. Huh? You know what I mean?
That was a big turning point in like, okay, you was telling them what you got to say. Now it's like, this is who I am.
Facts.
Okay then. Don't get too comfortable with it, SinCERE. We're coming to you now. We're working on the projects and we'll start talking about the future too. Let the old man talk. That's what you're saying.
Control it.
So we get through fragments. We start talking a little bit about what you're going to do next. And then, you know, a pandemic hits us.
Yeah.
Everybody got to stay home. And that's when you started having an idea for your next album, but also this I like to call it like maybe this itch to like, I got something to say.
Yeah.
It might not be like album level, full fleshed out thoughts, but I got something to say. And that's where we get While on Curfew.
Yeah.
How was that? Because I know we talked about like how that album kind of came together too.
Yeah, that for me, you know, that was kind of buying me time too. You know what I mean? That was kind of buying me time.
You was on the clock. People start saying what the next one at.
Yeah, that was kind of buying me time. But I did While on Curfew in like a week. Like I did While on Curfew in a week because I had time on my hands. And you know, at that point it's like, yo, we're sleeping too much now. You know what I mean? So I up late night writing, and I recorded the album in that project in probably like 2-3 days. Like I was just recording stuff and leaving them there. Some of them tracks I record 3 times and all on different beats because okay, let me just hearing it on different ones. Let me just choose the best ones. Like that type of stuff I did. But that was a cool project, man. I just felt like at the time it was needed. I needed to put something and just to uplift people as well and touch on some topics that I probably wasn't going to touch on the next one. So I was like, you know what, let me put that out. And that was good to a lot of people really like that one.
Yeah. Because you know, when we talk with Jabari, he actually had that album at like his second or third favorite from you.
Yeah. Surprising.
Yeah. Because we didn't talk, we got one more album because that's gonna be a big inflection point coming up.
Yeah.
But when he was like that one, like when that came out, nobody else in SinCERE was really moving around in general, like not even just the music industry. People wasn't moving around, and then for you to say this is a good time for me to put out some music, that was kind of that was the genius of it. But that's also when we started having some conversations about you, like we said, not getting that credit, not getting that respect. Like you're doing so much for hip hop locally at a time when, you know, ain't really much moving at that level that you at, and for some reason you're still getting overlooked.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could talk about that, and I mean, it's cool. Like,
is it?
Not that it's cool that happened.
Oh,
I mean, it's just cool. We could talk about it.
Okay then.
Like, yeah, like I dropped Fragments of Love, and I think like that was, if not one of the best projects out of SinCERE to me. Like, you know, Valentine's came around and they had like this whole big show. I was like, yo, like, why they didn't call me? You know what I'm saying? Like, I start feeling like, yo, I overlooking me. Like, no matter what I give I, like, y'all ain't gonna give me that platform.
Man singing, you know, what they call progressions is getting looks on the stage. I could say that. I ain't an artist.
Yeah, you're calling it down the middle. Not who whack.
Hey.
Call upon.
And you have the album out that's getting in rotation.
Number one.
Fits the theme.
Yeah, I feel like they want to kick me out. Yeah, but like Sugar Band, they can't get me out. I'm coming back again.
So they had that big event in Carly, and that was kind of like they try to break the back of like, okay, we can't take that disrespect no more.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And like, that's where Bad Boy comes from.
Mm-hmm. And that's your most recent album. So why call it Bad Boy? Why not fighting the system, resiliency? Like why Bad Boy was the name?
Because that for me, like that was just getting over the hurdle. You know what I mean? That was me getting over thinking about them keeping me out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That was just me thinking like, yo, like how I could get to this other side. You know what I'm saying? How I could get that type of energy out of me too.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Instead of staying in that phase like, yo, they ain't receptive to me, da. It's like Bad Boy now is me getting over that hurdle to move forward in order to start like creating and not feeling like it's a waste of time. You know, it's I could say so much because that's what Bad Boy is for me, getting over that hurdle and how to get over that. Because you know, Bad Boy will cut you up.
You can't just jump for Bad Boy first. Like, if you're good teeth, yeah, but I ain't touching people things. So, with that album, knowing that the subject matter gonna be so deeply personal, did you feel like it might not connect with your audience? Did you feel like you might say things that, you know, maybe Lil Wayne says certain things about people, he might not see them again in life? You say something about somebody, they'll catch you on Nevis Street.
Definitely. Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen, but I didn't care because that was for me. Like whatever it takes for me to get that energy out of me and reach to the next level, that's just what it is. And I wanted to do that, and that's exactly what I did. You know what I mean? I didn't care. I just wanted to express myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I wanted to express myself on all levels, and I think I did that.
So what about the support system at a time when, you know, you just did so much good, you had an album doing numbers, you're getting overlooked and stuff. At that time, when you start looking around like, I ain't really getting these looks, I kind of feeling this way, I gotta say something. How was your support system at that time?
At the Bad Boy stage?
Like leading up to Bad Boy, like how was it? Did you have a support system?
I don't really think so. I don't really think so. You know, at that point I was just kind of locked in by myself and just building, you know what I mean? I just felt like it was me against the world, like Pap. That's how I felt at that point. So that's how Bad Boy came along, man. Like, I just felt like it was me against the world. I just felt like I needed to say what was on my mind and also get out of that notion of like, yo, whenever you say something, people got to gravitate to it. Like, ain't all the time people ain't catch it. That's okay. Maybe they might catch it 2 years from now, 3 years from now. Like, you never know. You know what I'm saying? But like, Bad Boy is just for me getting out of that notion of feeling like I needed to be, you know, accepted. You know what I mean?
Good on. Bad Boy is when we get you on a track now.
Yeah.
So how did that come together? Like, let's hear your perspective of when you knew that Zoo wanted you on that song. How you felt? You feel like I'm gonna catch him on this song?
Well, no, it wasn't a matter of catch him on this song because that song wasn't for that. I heard the song and I identified with the message and I already know what he wanted from me to the song. Matter of fact, he didn't even send me his verse first. He just sent me the beat because he was feeling the beat already. He didn't send the verse yet. He sent me the beat. I was vibing in with the beat well. And then he sent it back to me like later that week. He sent it back to me, so I was like, okay.
This is where we're going in the direction.
And I was already waiting on it because he sent it to me like around 1 o'clock in the morning. no bullshit. Since 1 o'clock in the morning, I was like, yeah, it's interesting timing, man. I wasn't doing nothing at the time. I was just up. I was like, yeah, let's get to some writing then. So I was vibing the beat, coming up with different concepts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then he sent it back to me and said, late in the week, and it was like, that's why I was writing down the lines that he wanted to go with. So, you know? He reached out to me, let me know, like, he heard the first party, he was digging it, level.
Mm-hmm.
And then not too long after, like, probably like 2 weeks after that,
that's when start making motion. Alright, so do know about me doing this, specifically taking lyrics, and then we could got a whole conversation from it. But niggas 30 living check to check with no ambition. You say I can't do that. Why not? What you hating on the man them check for?
I actually hating others. Like,
the lack of ambition is the problem.
That is the problem, and then we're gonna be complaining about how stuck in the same cycle.
Mm-hmm.
How this ain't happening for us, but we're not looking at ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, we rather get this, and I feel like I might going on purpose distract yourself with pleasure.
Yeah,
regardless of what anybody think, age, whatever. That's just how I feel, and I don't hold my tongue for nobody. That was my whole thing. Like, for me, the reason I heard you ask this question earlier when I go back to it, the reason why I could do this hip hop and not like think, oh, what if people don't, you know, gravitate to it or identify with the message, whatever. I ain't here for that. SK is one place I love home. I can forever rep home. But me here for just thinking, oh, what if I don't catch people here? Like, I have to think about the world. I have to think about me as well. And as you said, you have to get these thoughts out, regardless of if they might catch it this long after. Just have to get out as an artist. So that was it for me. So
what kind of drives you, I guess, to make this? Like, where did you say you had this feeling all along that you wanted to rap? This gonna be how your outlook. You hear it, you connect with it. That was the start. But no, what's still driving you to do this?
Just knowing, like, I just know I have a purpose. It's not me just loosely just rapping. I'm not just rapping. Like, what I was saying in there, people can identify with. I've been through it myself, seen it happen. So it's like, I just have a purpose, and I feel like I'm robbing the world of not serving that purpose, and I rob myself of not serving that purpose. And I feel like it's a disrespect to the Most High. And He bless you with such a talent in this hard world, and you're using it to the highest extent. So that was it for me.
Every time you just kind of look on and be like, I still got this talent. And
I still got this.
Why be selfish with it?
No, I ain't trying to.
You got a purpose.
People still asking me, like, I ain't even been releasing so fast. People on me like, just music out, wow. I got some shit for that. You know what I mean? Just got everything. I ain't sorry for the wait, cause when it drop, it gonna drop for real. You know what I mean? I ain't sorry for the wait.
I like that. So, seeing that y'all connected on that song, we also gonna talk about the challenge in, you know, when you're rapping, you got features. You ain't really want somebody come on your song and show you up all the time, and you actually have a track record of having a bunch of people who will, you know, eventually be on baseline, so tune in for upcoming interviews. But you rap with the Underground, you rap with Mod Stoney, you got SinCERE, so you like spanning generations. I know you do with Rudy, you do a whole project with Rudy. So yeah, at any time you felt like, okay, I gotta get my bars up, or you just feel like you was going 100% regardless, or somebody make you kind of think like, okay, I might need to set up another session.
Hear me out, Quinn. That to me, that was the only time for me. I was like, damn, like Quinn went hard.
This is what a veteran look like.
Yeah, Quinn went hard. But I said a lot to it. So I expected him to, but you know what I mean, he went hard. I was like, damn, like now I gotta catch Quinn again. You know what I mean? I gotta catch Quinn again. But yeah, other than that, no. Like, even people are not telling me like, yo, like you let SinCERE say so much on that chat. I was like, yo, like, nah, like that's what I wanted him to do though. You know what I mean? Like I gave him the alley hoop to continue. You know what I mean? I just love the beat, and I know what I said is everything I wanted to say. You know what I mean? I could have studied and get some more time and write something else, but it's like, I don't say what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
And I feel like SinCERE was the perfect person now to carry on this. You know what I mean? And he did great. Like, to me, like, he really went crazy. And I hear it, man. I listened to that track like couple days straight, just listening. Like, yo, this shit gonna be so hard. And that's like that got a star as well on the album. So that's
people. Is that and the song with Mad Stoney too?
Yeah.
That was another one.
Yeah.
I think like seeing the difference in flow. And if people ain't catch on that, I always like to go into the technicalities.
Yeah.
When it comes to rap, I like the way how you use him. You let him go on his, not trying to come into your lane. It's like no. Stoney, do you?
Yeah.
What else? I like you, Patrick, and it was Yannick on that one.
Yannick.
You, Patrick, and Yannick. That was on Fragments.
Yeah, Old School Love.
Old School Love. I was going. That was a crazy because the storytelling, I think, like for each person, they had their own storytelling, and Patrick kind of being somebody who, not necessarily a rapper, but he's a poet. So then he could kind of like form into wherever you need him to do.
Definitely.
Whether it's that, I see him, he did like a freestyle poetry on Island Tea a morning. So it's like seeing how you kind of pull from different places. So what happens with you? Do you reach out to somebody, or do you have some situations where people reaching out to you saying that we're man on the album, dog?
Yeah, I just get that sometimes. Like people,
so where to sell them?
People reach out to me, but it's like I can't just do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't got my meditation on how this year going. You know what I mean? Like, everything I do is premeditated. So if I reach out to somebody to put them on a track with me, it's because I don't know you're gonna be perfect. You know what I mean? It's very rare I reach out to anybody and send them something and they don't jump on the track. Because like, I don't know how others do it, but it's like just musically, I just know you're gonna be perfect. You know what I'm saying? That track with Mad Stoney and Bad Boy, I just knew he was gonna be perfect. I couldn't hear nobody else. That track with Fast, I just knew he was gonna be perfect.
Yeah,
I couldn't hear nobody else. You check what I'm saying? So it's like I always know who I want to work with. And it ain't got to be nobody popular. It ain't got to be nobody who on. I just gotta respect you as an artist. I got to respect what you're doing more so than you being on and popping.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
And when the people badgering you to be on your stuff, that's when you just got to tell them they ain't whole.
Yeah, but like sometimes people reach out to me like, you ain't working. Like, you can't just jump on my shit. You gotta be working. You gotta be putting in work. Like, you ain't dropping no music. You just telling me I got bars. Like, you ain't putting in no work. So it's like, why am I putting you on a song? To do what? Like, this is more for you than for what I'm doing. Then like, me ain't doing that. Boy. Like, me ain't care. Me ain't doing that. You know what I mean? I gotta explain this to a couple people all the time. Like, yo, like, you gotta be working, B. You can't just pop up on me like, let's do music. Nah, like, okay, well, what you working with? Show me what you got. You got album out, you're working on projects. Like, what going on with you? But I mean, really got nothing working on right now, yeah, but I see what you're doing, and okay, so you just see what I'm doing, you figure you could do the same.
You see the coattails and you're ready to jump on it.
You want to jump on it. That's not my style. I don't care. When you start putting in that work and I start seeing what you got going for you, then we could talk, because nobody give me a handout,
True.
You check, nobody give me a handout. I have to work for where I be right now. So don't feel like, and that's another thing too. I feel like people think because me ain't one of them popular artists, but they respect me work, But me one of them popular artists, like, they could just pop up on me like, let's do music. Like, that ain't how I stay. You check, so you know, I guess they'll figure it out eventually. Yeah, but
so see a nugget there when you start ascending even higher and higher. You ain't got no to tell people now, you. Everybody gonna be looking for that SinCERE verse.
I do know.
Already done.
Yeah, you have to respect your stuff. You know what I mean? As he said there, he already know what he working with. He already know what he bring to the table, the value he has in his craft. You can't just allow anybody to jump on ship. You know what I mean? Because some dudes might not even try to be consistent after that. There's one track and then.
That's it.
Not only that, people won't even help you promote the track. Like
that as well. You know what I mean? They might even just promote the track there and play their verse alone, not even fuck with the rest of the project. Forget their say. Nah, I can't deal with it. So
everything
I
will be in.
that type of energy, man. You know what I mean? If I do music with you, it's because I respect you first as a person, and secondly for your craft. You know what I'm saying?
Okay then.
Yeah, the music has to feel a certain way. Yeah.
You gotta get that natural vibe from it.
It could sound good, but if you feel a certain way, we'll go back to it. It has to feel a certain way.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you mentioned your song with Fast Plate from Barbed Wire, and I like that because it's the beat hype, you know, it has kind of like a distorted 808 on it, so you might think that very like Playboy Carti kind of sound.
Yeah.
You actually took that and made a story out of it. So telling people about the hard times, like not just saying, "Oh, I grew up. Sometimes things was rough," but explain to people. Sometimes when you get that chance to open your wings, you're flying in a storm. Yeah, like talking about when you was up in like Fort Lauderdale and stuff. Yeah. Like, how much of that experience you think helps you in making that music here too?
A lot, you know, because that's a whole different way of life. That's a whole different type of vibe, man. Like stepping out of SK, you see so much, you know what I mean? And I would advise anybody, especially a creative, to travel, you know what I mean? Go somewhere else. You know, just don't be afraid to move to if you have to. You know what I'm saying? If you got a youth on you especially, and nothing happening for you here, like take a chance and go. You know what I mean? See the world. I mean, easier said than done, eh? But,
it's very easy to say, hey.
Yeah, but plant yourself, like, you know, put yourself in position. But yeah, man, I feel like me traveling helped me to vocalize so much more than just here. You know what I mean? People all over the world could listen to me stuff and could resonate, you know what I'm saying? Because all that track with Fast, you know, when I said my uncle and so, you know, my uncle just got out of the prison. The same.
Yeah, who you mentioned in.
Yeah, so he was like, yo, like, I let people up here listen to track and them and love it, man. Them man wanna like, what he know about Cocos and what he know about this. And
The
like,
Office.
They're like, yo, this boy up here all the time. You know what I mean? They're like, yo, he know his shit. So it's like, that's great for me to do that. You know, I'm happy that people could like resonate outside of just.
And that's the funny thing about it. That line when you talk about might hit Cocos, might go to The Office. Somebody here that might not hit the same like when you spit bars like explaining certain things here, but like if you know Coco's an Office and you know the layout of where those things are, like it shows the exposure to other places and seeing different things too. But you mentioned your uncle. How your family kind of factor into you like doing hip hop? Like how have they kind of supported in a way? Like how you feel about them?
Yeah, kind of, yeah and no. Because like sometimes it's hard for people even close to you to see the bigger picture of things, especially when it's like I hear him saying it's, you know what I mean, it's hard, but I still got certain family who really like mess with me on a real level, like really want to see things, you know, go how we're supposed to go, and really would like me to transition and see what could happen outside of SinCERE, that type of vibe. People rallying with me still, man. It ain't everybody, but got a few people in my corner still that I know want to see me.
They want to see you win.
Yeah, want to see me on another level, so. And that's all it takes. It ain't gonna be the whole world. But as long as you got one person beside of you, saying wherever you're with, I win. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all you need,
So, what about you, SinCERE? How your family and your close friends and relatives feel with you saying, I got something to say, this is how I can say it?
Well, it has them like thinking, because I started out wanting to play basketball. I was pursuing that heavily. I was oriented on playing ball. That's what. I was in for a rude awakening as time passed. I wasn't really getting the opportunity to go outside to showcase my talent. They like, chances of you making it in basketball here, it is as slim as Asher, you know what I mean? But it's slim.
So you just slim as Asher, but you're like a lot of fitness.
You can't hear just that.
You're slim, man. Don't cut that.
Hey, I knew I didn't have a chance because I 5'9", so I was like, I play basketball for local fun, for the passion, the love of it.
Hat over height. Hat over height.
Is that hat over height?
Yeah, you had the hat, forget the height, man. As long as you had that gear.
That sounds good until they send your shot up in the stands. I know about that. Like, I done had my times when I catch somebody across, and I was like, haha, I got you.
I can't even speak on it from your show.
Because somebody like you would hit it out into the stands.
I 6, probably 6'2". So it's like, I can't even speak from your shoes, but, you know, when I heard I wanted to do music and stuff, they were like, yeah, I support you. They would say that about it.
They're saying it, but you ain't getting.
I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah.
Until like afterward, like, here, I want to sing and they're like, I keep doing it. I'm like, let's do this. We're going to do this. You know what I mean? So we just said, it started off rocky, like, they wasn't sure. After a while, let's see where it was going and let's see what I wanted to do. And I articulate my vision to them from there.
Yeah. So now, for you, Zoe, who you would say would be your peers? Like, when you consider yourself doing music, who would be other artists locally, like hip-hop artists, who you would say, that's my peer, that's somebody who come up in that same generation as me? Do you think you have any?
Other than SinCERE?
You think you and SinCERE in the same, like, are as peers?
Yeah, I feel like we could do a lot of stuff together. Like we could even drop a project together. Like, that's how I feel like, is he very knowledgeable on the craft. You know what I mean? He know his shit. Yeah, so ain't like somebody who, you know, just out here, as you said, just rapping, like, you know his shit. You know what I mean? But when it comes to, I ain't see nobody else. And that's just me. Now, maybe me ain't looking.
Yeah.
Maybe there are people out there who really on their shit.
Yeah.
But me and him, maybe them.
Because I was thinking about it, because I would say, because of release times and stuff, I would have Stoney as like a little older, even though like not age-wise, but he was doing his thing a while publicly. And then you kind of came in and I can't really see anybody around because I have SinCERE right under you. So that's where I'm like, I can't find who, if we had to like put things in classes, I ain't seen nobody else in your farm.
If you talk on that level, cool, I understand. But if you're talking about like people who I could like
consider at your level, like talent wise,
do stuff with. If you're talking do stuff with, like definitely SinCERE, definitely Stoney. Could always
because y'all had my speed
as well. You know what I mean? I could always do that, but ain't much. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like maybe that's why so much attention was on me too, because like ain't nobody else was really pushing that. A lot of people start out doing hip hop and went go do dancehall too, because like either me know what's going on with them, but it's probably woke up and nobody. I want the reception. You know what I mean? This thing take heart, yeah. Like if you ain't got no guts and flow, you know what I mean? So don't feel like you could just come in, boys, that for you have to train them and all kind of thing.
And then
nobody's studying, like, but this ain't working out. And so you go.
Next year they're dropping something for Sugar Man.
Next year they're dropping something for Sugar Man. Ping ping pam pam. See they coming out talking about how can donkey can't come in back and all kind of thing. Yeah,
that's the thing, because it's hard to stick with what it is. Like you said, the purpose. But was it really the purpose then?
Stoney though hip hop and Stoney still give you one jinx.
Yeah.
Stoney is like the artist is like he could just be anywhere.
True, because even when he big song, How You Mean, that was a song that it was hip hop. But then still kind of feel like that kind of like a dancehall anthem in a way too.
Yeah, definitely. Stoney, I don't know how he do it, but I tell him like, yo, like wherever you drop in, that's what you're gonna happen for you, because you're so talented on that level. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. When it comes to hip hop, there ain't much here. Trust me.
So you did a video, for I'm Black. Be Black.
Yeah.
How was it kind of having a song speaking on that identity here in Saying It's Weird? That's the most common identity. How you felt going in with that song? Because I know a little bit of the backstory, but kind of share where your mind was to go and make a song like that.
Yeah, that whole situation just hit me. That whole the racism what been going on in America. That shit hit me different because I got family out there too. You know, and they will tell me stories about what they experience and
then you had the George Floyd, and you talk about that too.
I can't believe that shit's still happening. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not one of those type of persons that just care about clout and like I really rooted in people. You know what I mean? Like I really got heart for people. Like I want to see my people win. And when I say my people, mean like you, SinCERE, or anybody around me. I just mean like, my heritage in general, my black people, my people who've been through oppression for so many years. Like that shit for me is totally different. Why, like, that's just how I be. So I history wise, and so I love my history. I love to know that we progressing, So Jigga and Kanye then getting billionaires, like I feel good, like it's me, because like that's just another one of us, like
you can see
out the loop and getting out of the barrel and pulling up other people. You check what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, wow, that shit hit me different, boy. And then a lot of things so graphic now. Like when I watch that thing with George Floyd, I'm like, yo, like, that shit hit me mystic, but like that gave me goosebumps and all, like, that could have been one of my family, them, that could have been me. Like, you never know.
Wrong place, wrong time.
You check what I'm saying? So that hit me different, by. So my whole thing was like, yo, no, ain't gonna probably resonate in SK much. But this is my contribution to my people still who out there fighting. You know what I mean? My family and friends and so out there going through it. Because at this point now it's like, me ain't just making music for here, man. Like, I have that. You know what I mean? I'm making music for everybody. I'm making music however I feel like, and that's my meditation. I mean, thinking about SK. You know what I mean?
You hear, you rep it, but this ain't it anymore. Like,
I mean, no,
you're global.
Yeah, well, of course, this is where I'm at, and this is the country I love, but like, me ain't just making music to be here and getting clout and all that type shit. Like, I realize like I'm on a whole different vibe, you know what I mean? So that's just my take on it.
So the choice to shoot that video and then kind of showing that, I enjoyed that. And it was funny, I think we spoke about it, not like on interview, but we talk about the fact that I remember in like 2015 or so, I came back home and something I had was like, I had like a Black Lives Matter thing. And somebody was telling me like, why I got that stuff, like, you're insane kids, everybody black and everything. And I was like, well, the concept ain't just we black, we deserve this. It's more so like, why certain things only happening to us? Where is our 12-step program to kind of stop police brutality specifically against us? We ain't saying nothing about no other people. And the person was like, well, what are you talking about? They ain't got nothing to do with us. I said, what do you mean? Police just do things here that they ain't supposed to be doing. And the person was kind of like, they couldn't connect the two things. And it's so funny because maybe like a couple months later, they had a situation where an officer had shoot a fella, I think in his shoulder or something, and it was a guy who was supposed to go for the Olympics. I don't know if I remember that situation. Somebody I get hit with a bullet or something for a situation, and is kind of like unanswered for. It's like, okay, he gets shot, but like, what happened? Like, people started thinking like, wait, so it just happened and no repercussion. Then they had other situations kind of piling up, and it was like, I ain't saying all officers bad or anything. My issue is more so when we do have a situation and it is against us, who kind of sorting out the issues. This is my personal input, like seeing a video like that, seeing people locally just so happy. That was why I had like to see. And the choice of doing that video instead of maybe a video for Plate or a video for like going back to your earlier album, maybe doing something for like Lola, that was kind of the video I was like, that was a good choice. Like, it might not get all the views, but it was a good choice to kind of show where you are mentally.
Yeah.
And this question for both of y'all, doing music and stuff, how has that affected you mentally? Like, I know here lots of people don't like to talk about the mental aspect of things, but the balance of doing music, still going to work a job, still going to live life. You still got real life situations with your girl, with your parents and stuff. Like, what is it toll that has kind of taken on y'all?
Right. Well, for me, it's it's something we get heavy, because like I does invest a lot in my craft. You know what I'm saying? And like sometimes things ain't going how you expect it to go. Like time like passing by and you realize you ain't getting certain things accomplished, and that's just because all what you got going on. You know what I mean? It's like, damn, it get frustrating, I ain't gonna lie. And it's like, damn, I'm looking at time now, like age, and like, like I really need to figure this shit out like today. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's heavy, but you're gonna hear a lot more about my next project though.
Oh, so we're gonna come back to the future then. Yeah. So what about you? How that feel like knowing that you're on this path? You said this is your purpose, but I mean that progress linear, like you have those pitfalls. How does it feel for you mentally?
Of course. But at the same time, life does not stop. You know what I mean? Life still hits you from different angles. You have to remind yourself that, regardless of what happens in life, just try and find the light at the end of the tunnel. And the light at the end of the tunnel for me right now is music. You know what I mean? Sometimes I get demotivated to do music because of what happens in life.
Life stopping you from living.
Right. That's a good way to put it. And then when that happens, you just put me on game and I say, you know what? Me apply this to the music. Because I'm not the only one going through this. You know what I mean? Somebody out there could identify with it. I'm not saying like, I'm just gonna make it because of that. Like, I want to make it. You know what I mean? And hopefully somebody who's going through it or similar situation, they could find like some sort of sanctuary in the music. Like, keep them going.
Facts.
I think with people too.
Exactly.
People, so.
Feel the same way. And that's the same thing for me too. It's like I remind myself like, somebody else might not be as strong to pull up with that and pull it out. Or even talk about it. So me now opening up and talking about it, giving somebody else strength to, face whatever they're going through. You know what I'm saying? I would say it might not be on a global scale, but you never know who out there listening to your shit and saying, I gotta pull through, I gotta push through. I can't think about taking my life no more. I can't think about, you know what I mean?
The down times and stuff shit, is like
you could probably hear some. You probably hear some. Not to cut you off. Yeah. You probably hear some that. Okay, so like you were thinking to end it today. Yeah, particular song that just bring you back on for me. It's like just go again. Hearing people come up to you like, I ain't a big deal. I have a bunch of people come up to me and be like, I like what you're doing and stuff, and give them a certain confidence. And it just drive me more to like, let's do this, cause ain't anybody could take life how you could take life. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Anybody build the seams, it's like, look out for those as well.
And those conversations, you actually use them on the Bad Boy album. So was that like, what was the motivation to use like different voice notes from people and clips from prior interviews in your album?
Because I wanted people to know at the same time, like I dealing with shit too. I just got these moments where I feel like, you know what I mean, like me I want to do this no more.
So just want done with this music thing.
Like, but all of that was just to bring the realness to the project. You know what I mean? To bring to just make it more grounded. You feel me? Like I wanted people to just know that's exactly where my mind at. Like that's exactly the conversations I've been having with my brethren them, and so like about me not feeling recognized, me not feeling like it's going anywhere. So I just want to bring the rawness to the project. You know what I mean? And there's a difference too, because I hardly hear people. Any artist at all bring about voice notes and so on projects with talking about some real shit. You know what I mean? So I just feel like it was different.
Okay.
Skits and like real life situations within the project just to bring it to
So I think now we could start talking about the future for you guys. So we're gonna start over there with SinCERE. What next? What coming up next? What does the future look like for you?
Well, I'll definitely be more consistent now because the main reason I haven't been releasing music is because I've been trying to get on the platforms. Just recently started streaming. But I would say to expect more tracks to drop. Don't expect no project or nothing yet. Of course, when we get there, we'll expect more tracks, definitely.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, cause I know
more
before
videos,
we hear,
more videos into that.
Yep, saw your video for First 48 and stuff.
Show Posse.
Oh yeah, that was the freestyle. Show Pass freestyle. That one I think was your first one. That was like 2017.
No, Quiet Storm was 2017.
Okay then.
On Stainless, and then I released last year First 48 and the Show Posse.
Okay then. Okay, so that's why I had mixed up there because I know like Quiet Storm, you had that up on like your social media and stuff.
Yeah,
too.
just re-uploaded it because people already knew it before, so let's go back up on the page.
That shit fire, right? Yeah, that shit fire. Remember the first time I hear First 48, right?
And even actually, what was the first track you heard from me?
First 48.
Okay.
And I hear First 48, what? The beat style and so like, yo, nah, this dude different. Like, no. What is wrong? You know what I mean? First man, I hit up as an 87. You know this youth, no? You know this youth? He was like, yeah, man, I know that youth very well. You know, I mean, him chop it up, da. He know you too. Like, ah, shit, like, say no more. Follow him. I was like, connect one time. I was like, you know, like what you're doing, da. And
like, some humble shit too, like, like kudos to him, you know, he didn't have to do that. A lot of people be up in their head like, I is this here, I ain't going to nobody for nothing. To me, what?
He actually come and was like, yo.
And some humble stuff, and he was like, I fuck with that, you know what I mean? It wasn't me even me like getting up in my head like, oh, you hitting me up? Nah, it was like, yo, I'm glad this dude hit me up because I love hip hop and to see that somebody locally hit me up, wants to work. Let's go, man.
yeah.
So, what about you? What the future holds? I know you just mentioned, you know, thoughts about what the next album might be looking like or the next project. Let's say project. What can we expect on that front? So we'll start off with music. What we should expect next?
Yeah, another project coming. Hopefully December, if not December, January. But I've been working on it. You know what I mean? This year, I ain't drop no music this year because I just been getting my thoughts together. You know what I mean? I dropped 5 projects. I needed some time to live. I needed some time to breathe. You know what I mean? Get new experiences and just, you know, just soak it up. You know what I'm saying? So, but another project coming. I've been working on 3 projects this year. And not to drop one time, but periodically.
Kind of moving between them.
Yeah, I've been between 3 projects and 3 projects that I hold daily to me, like, on some real shit. But the next project gonna be on some bad shit, like. The next one ain't easy enough on them. Next one coming on some other shit. I just talking me things. Me trying to get no radio. This ain't no radio jams, nothing. Care about none of that. This one here.
You're coming through, you want like, oh, I know I can rap still, right?
Yeah,
like rap.
Yeah, like, I just coming back on that whole type of vibe, you know. But then the other 2 is some
get back show a bit more radio side, the storytelling and stuff.
Yeah, and one of them is Fragments I Love too as well. But that ain't gonna be coming too soon. That's down the line still. I mean, I could talk about it because
you know where that state is.
I done got, you know, certain things are lying, but that's far from now. You know what I mean? But my next project is, I just coming with some other shit, man. And I'm working with a producer too. He producing everything. I'm making people that be out there, I'm telling you for that still, you know?
So, which album is your favorite? Cause me, you, JB, we talk about our favorites.
Yeah.
But for you, now that you kind of got everything hindsight, which one is your favorite?
I think Fragments gonna always be my favorite. I mean, I say always, but Fragments is just that turning point for me. You know what I mean? That just show me that you could do it. You know? That just show me like no matter what I was thinking before anything, you could just change the whole script. You know what I mean? So fast, Fragments is my favorite. You know, hear me out as my baby, yeah, because that's, you know,
That's the first one,
Yeah.
so it still got love for it. But
yeah, but Fragments is like,
that was the one that kind of shoot you out.
yeah, like the first time I'm walking by myself, like write everything by myself and just work on the whole project alone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Nobody knew about that project, only probably you, because I probably tell you about it.
Yeah, we talk about it, and you send me Holding On and Old School Love. I had those two drafts.
Yeah, nobody else knew what I was working on here. Like, I hold that they're so close to me, like, because me wanted no energy to throw off my shit.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you tell people things and, like, you know what I mean? In
Just
the back
putting
of
it
their
out.
mind,
Yeah.
they put on some negative type thing, like, hey, ain't coming with nothing different. It's the same music. You know what I mean? So that what I mean, tell nobody nothing, me true map nobody. Like, I show up to them with the album and like, yo, listen this. I'm like, yo, that's really crazy. You know what I mean? Like, yo, listen this. Like, oh man, but me tell nobody about that at all. So I think that's, for me, is the turning point for me, and that's my best shit to date.
And then, as we get albums, don't worry, you know, you're getting that question too. So expect that. Expect somebody, me specifically, gonna ask you. You gotta rank them kids, you know. So I think as we start getting ready to kind of close this off, I have two more questions, and for us here at Baseline, we want to know, how has the hip hop community here in St. Kitts been for you all? Like, whether it has been a situation where you didn't really know other people doing hip hop and then all of a sudden you're stumbling, or was it you had a lot of people hitting you up? How has it been for you, your experience with local hip hop, the community specifically?
I would say it's good though. You know, if we're talking about the hip hop community, I would say it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Like the support there in that area. People really love what I'm doing, what I'm bringing to the table.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I mean, trying to toot me hand, but I feel like I inspire a lot of people to, you know, go for it. You know what I mean? People will look at it and be like, yo, it's hip hop ain't really that thing in SK, but I feel like me pushing, giving a lot of other people strength to at least, if that's what they're feeling inside, to do it. You know, but people been, you know, like receptive to people that's in the hip hop area, being receptive to what I'm doing, and I feel like people coming out now, people really taking a chance to do something different. You know what I mean? Like, I just can't wait to see like where St. Kitts gonna be musically in the next 5 years.
True.
You know, like, I don't know who it is gonna bust where. Like, I mean, just talking about hip hop, talking about like overall, but I'm hoping in the next 5 years that somebody from here bust the place and give somebody else a chance to, you know, and just pull up the ladder.
Each person been knocking on the door, trying to kick it down
as they go. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that is what can happen. You know what I mean? But in the hip hop region, I feel like there's a lot of people out there who just getting themselves together now and coming. So for me, I just feel like it's my responsibility now to pull people. But you got a talent.
That's the thing.
I can't just pull you.
You can't just say.
See that in you, like, you know? Yeah.
Okay then. Well, I think for me, fellas, thanks for coming and sitting down here with us today. I know we always have like off-record conversations about what you're doing, where your mind state's at. You know, I always like to ask you, okay, what the goal for this project is. Like, it could be as simple as, I just got words that was rhyming, but you need to have a goal to achieve the goal. So expect to hear that when you say, okay, I'm working on this. I'm gonna ask you, well, what the goal of the project is, because you kind of are one of the first people for me that when I heard at your time, you gave a full project, you gave a well-produced project, and since then it's gotten better and better and better, which to me is something that we needed to kind of change the whole, for all the music in St. Kitts. Like, when we're doing it, let's do it top tier, because we can.
Facts.
So just want to thank y'all again for stopping here, having a conversation with us here at Baseline. Also want to shout out the team working for us here Create One Media Studios, Pelican Media Group for producing and directing us here. And join us again next time on Baseline.